So in typical Tumblebees fashion, our first shift is always fairly eventful, so we'll kind of go through it. Before we continue, I kind of want to rewatch this a little bit. Okay, so I think the first thing we can take a note of is Alex's pathing is pretty shitty. And let me explain why first. So he's kind of driving to the net. But he doesn't. Okay, so let's kind of rewind here. Just kind of take a note. From here all the way until about here, he doesn't really put himself in a position to shoot or receive a pass. And he is watching, but I don't think, like, you're not really looking for what are the lanes that pucks are going to come to you. So pace control is something that you're going to need to mix in. So boom, 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 like not in a position to receive a puck, not in a position to receive the puck. Oh, and then now you pivot, right? And that at that point, it's pretty much too late. Mike already tried to throw a pass across, but let's say that pass went through. You're no chance you're ready. And so you're not really in a good body positioning, nor are you in a good position to even receive the puck. So what I would have maybe suggested is either slow it down, and then and maybe you could like mix your pacing, right? So slow it down or pick up the speed depending on where Mike is. So right now there's a lane right here. Certainly you could slow down and then prepare to shoot from here. And then as he continues, maybe there's a lane that opens up here. Or if he continues, the lane comes up like that, right? You're trying to find the open areas where a puck can actually come towards. So that's kind of like the first thing we want to think about. Now, you're driving into the far side post, which is fine, but sometimes you can also consider driving to the short side post, which in itself might have some advantages, right? So you come up like this and you cut across like that. And so one of the tricks is when there's like a short pass like that, it may trick the goalie. The short side post going this way, and so when you come out this way, you can shoot on the short side. So those are possible options. Now that is for Alex. Now for Kathy, certainly one of the things she wants to do is slow down, and another thing that she can actually think about is actually you begin with a trailer, so trailing Mike's path on the boards. So one of the things is if you get poke checked, you can come back down and carry it in, or if he loses it and it's just easy draw pass. So the position right now, not great, just because that passing lane is shut off. And so when you start wide and trailing him, one of the tricks is you can actually come in, then cut across. And so see, like right here, this is all doubled. You're doubled up. You've tripled up the lanes, and it's unlikely you'll get a clean pass at that situation, right? So if you start with a trailer and then cut across, that'll likely increase your chances for anything, right? So it got blocked there. So let's say we stop right here. Now it's pretty clear how this huge lane that opens up, and that's how kind of plays can open up. So there's that. Now let's continue with the clip. Failed pinch, that is like fine. I mean, the attempt was fine. I like the backtracking pressure here, so we're good. But effort level from Ray is a little questionable at this moment. Yeah, that got pretty suspicious pretty quickly there. Yeah, 4 players in, so Kathy should have probably stuck down there. Trying to identify who would have been their D. Yeah, I think that's their D man that went in, so Kathy kind of followed them, but lost track of who she's supposed to be covering. And then everyone is so focused on one person here. We're forgetting this one, and then as I mentioned, Kathy forgot that player, and then this player is kind of forgotten about too. So holy smokes, we got 3 in front of the net and no one covering. Luckily they missed the net, or Cliff made the save. So pretty eventful first shift. Not the greatest thing we want to see. And another classic leaving the zone early and having your back turned the entire time. How awkward is this? This little puck is slowly coming in, your back's turned. Like, isn't that extremely awkward? That is so awkward. Oh my god. Like, yeah. Just the problems of skating too far ahead. Either you pivot or you start down a little bit lower. Or in this case, what I think would have been better is, rather than skating straight like this, is just branch out. So if Ray decides to come up this way, then you've got some movement to work with. Just continuing on with that awkward thing. Now, one of the things we tend to do, it's like a pretty bad habit, myself included, is how we come in like this and we take it wide. This is all good, but we do this kind of stupid stop, and we open up our body and we come to a complete standstill right this. And why it's stupid, why don't I like it, is because the alternative option is way better and you continue speed. Now, what is the alternative option? Is we actually come down and then tight turn, right? And so at this point, you're gonna bring yourself closer to the boards, and you're gonna have your same body position as this, right? But instead, you'll be closer to the boards and you're turning and you have momentum. And that allows you to make a lot of decisions. You can pass, you can continue skating towards the middle and shoot, or you can even just do a hard stop and then reverse back the other way. So that small change creates a lot of options for you. The only thing this would be better is if you're able to, like, if you're going down like hard with speed, and then you do like a hard stop and you just lose the defender that way. Yeah, that's one thing. But in this case, it's not like anyone's really chasing Alex. You can kind of see it's like you're skating into the defenders. So let's get it right. You're skating in a defender, so there's nobody with speed chasing after you. So a move like that doesn't really make as much sense. Now, part 2 to this equation, he kind of loses the puck. Now this is not good. Slowly dingle dangling. We got 3 guys concentrated right here. Well, what does that mean? It's probably gonna have 3 guys probably gonna be chasing up like this way, right? So we're gonna diddle daddle right at the blue line. That's like you handcuffed him, right? So you're causing a D to pinch, so that means you better be on that ball to defend. So it looks like Mike was paying attention. but could easily have gotten ugly right there. It's like odd man rush pretty easily. In that situation, you probably want to throw it down low, like just turn around, rim it down. Safer play usually. You might have to give up possession, or just take it out of the zone, reset the whole thing, and then get back in the zone again that way. But this is definitely a sketchy play for sure. So puck got cleared. They called no ice. We're about to watch something really awkward. Now the first thing, yeah, I'm not sure how Justin and Alicia got swapped on opposite wings, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. One's on each side. Now, ideally, if we're going to be on the wings, I'd rather see we go along the boards. But here, let's just watch it in entirety. Focus on Dave and Alicia, how awkward their skating pattern is here. Right, extremely awkward. We're also doubling up on the middle again, something I would say not really advisable, but what happened there and what could we do better? So let's work on Alicia first. Now I think, in my opinion, we want to start on the board side, so we're snaking wide, and then if you get a puck, then you turn, but otherwise I would just go all the way down and then stop, and then only if there's like a really clear gap to take open, then you can start skating up like so. But otherwise just come to a standstill. Much simpler. Instead of doing a turn back around, right? That's just so awkward. Dave, so he's going across, but then he turns away, so that's awkward, right? With a double forecheck, and therefore at this point in time he can't see what's going on back there, so it is awkward. Has to go back around, then he goes up, right? In my opinion, is what you should do is take this route, like a wide route, and that way you can still have your eye looking during the play, then come down, touch the crease, and then come up. Now during this whole time you can come across and you can keep an eye on Kevin, what he does. If he passes across, then you can turn this way. If he starts skating up, you can turn early. Otherwise, if it's still there, you just cut across wider, and then any moments of this time he could be passing to you, and then you just go up. Pretty simple stuff. And therefore you'll never have to look away from the play, and so you can avoid this really awkward. You skate around again, turn back around, right? Super awkward, and a bit high, and you're not open for the pass at any moment in time. But eventually we get the puck up. But that initial sequence, super awkward, and this just starts with pathing. So a few notes here. Kev's goes for the cross corner dump. Now on a cross corner dump, we're going for the change. Now make a decision. Either you're going to go hard for the forecheck or just peel off and go for the change. Rather than, and I'll show you just in a moment, is this turnover, right? And they're coming into the zone. This is probably not the best time to go for a change, and if you're gonna go for a change, you better get on quick. Like don't cruise, because just watch. Little taking our sweet time. Boom! There's already 5 opponents in our zone with our wingers not in sight, right? So that's a problem. They're deep in their zone and they get a big chance. Now defensively, what happened here, that looked pretty Nasty. Ray kinda gets watching him, but loses track. And thank God Cliff made a save there, because that would have been 1-0. He bailed you guys out big time. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he just lost Ray. Either that or Ray decided to switch to cover this guy on the post rather than just tying up this player's stick. Hard to say if that's necessarily a mistake, because if you're just staying on this player and no one's covering this, he could theoretically walk out and then shoot. So perhaps not entirely a mistake. Yeah, hard to say. But yeah, dangerous chance. We could perhaps argue that, no, this is just nitpicking at this point, where when this player beat Ernest and then Mike is coming for him, then Ernest should hustle to the front of the net and double team the kicks. But you know, this is just kind of nitpicking at that point. And then here, if we finally see our wingers in frame with 5 opponents kind of deep in his zone. So yeah, another sketchy play from our famous duo. So Ernest comes down, tries to shoot it deep. Fine, perfectly fine. He's pinching. Tries to keep it in the zone. Perfectly fine. But okay, what does Ray decide to do now that he saw Ernest jump in? Why don't I pinch as well? Oh my god. So thankfully Mike was there, but easily 3-on-1/2 situation. And you can see how far back Ray was. So yeah, we were thankful that Mike was there. So followed after that some more neutral zone battles, and Ray bumps it up and he decides to chase. A little questionable perhaps. Comes it across, therefore Ernest is last man back. This is looking pretty sketchy. Loses it. We're looking very sketchy now. Boom, big chance, big save by Cliff. So, yeah, big yikes. And not only that, we got the lost rebound. Holy shit, we got 2 in front of the net uncovered. This is probably the perfect example of what I was speaking about in the first clip regarding Alex. Now, it seems like he has this mindset of get to the net, right? But then there's no thought about looking for open lanes and receiving the puck. And we'll just see right here. Boom, right there. This is the open lane. So you should be ready for the open lane, but he's not ready for the open lane, right? He's facing towards the net. His stick is in the area where there's no lane, right? There's literal bodies in the way. So what happens? Oh, the puck hits his skate where the open lane was. Super awkward, can't get the shot across, right? Versus, what can he do differently? Can open up, pivot backwards, open up, find that lane. So if you just pivot backwards right there, right, it would have been perfect bing bang one-timer, or even catch and release, right-handed shot, perfect position, area to be in, right? So that kind of, it's just a small thing. There. And just to hammer on Alex a little bit more, look at that. He pivots backwards, he's skating backwards, opening it up for that shot. So you can't say he can't do it, because he's doing it right there. Look at that. Let's replay it again. Oh my god. Same positioning, same location. Now imagine if that puck went one-timer. Alright, let's start talking about Ray here. He does a really good job holding the blue line. It was a little questionable before, but very good job here. Dekes him out. Now, one of the things that we got to work on for you now is when you have the puck along the boards, one of the things you're going to want to do is either start looking to move the puck inwards is one. Now, one of the ways you can do that is walking the blue line to look for lanes like this, or even coming in and then coming in through like that. And then at the same time, you're also going to be hunting for screens and shot lanes. So yeah, not a single screen in sight. So a shot from distance, not really going to be very effective usually. Not really any good passing options either. So his next play makes a lot of sense, right? Just a chip down town that Alex was not able to handle, but like the theory still remains the same. So yeah, positioning here is not great. I'd rather see probably Kathy over here. I think that's, yeah, right-handed. Kathy over here, and then maybe Mike over here, but doesn't really matter. So he does the where he does the same thing, tries a deke, okay, no problem. Tries a deke again. It is an attempt, and that's kind of like the same idea where it's like you're trying to bring it in inside from the boards and then look for the shot, right? So something to look out for. We'll touch upon it again if I see Ray with the puck on the blue line again later in the game. So let's start discussing questionable breakouts, questionable pathing. Right. I mean, this should have been the most obvious choice, but I guess Ray didn't like it. That's fine. A little far. So let's kind of. So yeah, didn't like it. I guess tried to D there. Didn't work out so well. Still was dribbling across in front of Cliff. Very high up in the zone. At least Kathy's down there, so okay. So Ernest gets it. At this point, probably a stop behind the net just to scan everything would have been the better play. At least to wait, like buy time for everyone to come back. But he's zooming up there already with a little bit of pressure on him. I think that is something to be careful of, because if you're not ready, like literally someone could be pressuring you, and then the next thing you know, he's right in front of your face. Don't particularly like yeah, Alex is a bit high, but maybe okay. Closer to the boards would be better. Our center is still missing. Like Ernest is kind of fulfilling that role a bit. So it's tough to do a breakout when the center's kind of that high. So we gotta reset a little bit again. Go across. Perfectly fine. Yeah. It's interesting. I guess it eventually works out, but it's interesting. So on the contrary, I think this was far better executed. Now we can see already Justin is on the boards, coming down low. So that's great to see. Now, at a minimum, I do say this red line, but I do, yeah, I think this is fine. Not a lot of pressure. Going back lower is like, I'm a big fan of that as well usually, but in this case it's fine. We can see already Alicia's like way in the middle, like I'd rather see on the boards, and I think I remember I'm waving to her, right? So I get to the boards. So that wave right there, and I would rather see, boom, like it's easy. It should have been easy pickup and ready to go. Now at this point, I think the better play is to get it, rim it hard this way onto Justin. I think the concern was maybe I'll hit a ref, and honestly I don't think I might have been able to see you at this moment in time. You see someone on my left hand side. Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks pretty obviously that's the better play. But in either case, we want options, and generally speaking, we're doing a good job there. And so at this point, like, the breakout should be relatively clean. Perhaps ideally we would have had Alicia skating forward rather than stopping in a standstill right there. So why is that important? Because you see how number 10 just easily blocks that passing lane, but if you're threatening to skate, they have to respect you. So it provides options rather than, you know, it's an obvious pass. Definitely for us, it kind of deflects in a manner that is benefiting us, except we have a double turnover, double pass interception to Dave, but you know, like, yeah, unfortunate, but I think this breakout was far cleaner than the previous clip. So fortunately here we still get puck possession into the zone, even though the pass got intercepted. Now, one of the things I did want to key in on is pay attention to Justin, and he is controlling his pace, looking for what's that open lane. Boom, open lane, he's ready for the shot. Anytime he's ready for that shot, he's eager to score that goal. Oh, each inching forward. What's that lane? What's that lane? Right? So we can compare that with Alex, right? Alex was just ready to barrel in down there. He says, I'm going to drive the net. I have no indication on where do I want to receive that puck. Right? Now, the only thing is, when Justin is cruising like that, it's a little predictable, right? Stick on the ice, and very easy for a defender to say, watch, hey, that puck is gonna start coming the moment that pass gets released. Right here, boom, pass release, boop, stick lift, right? So yeah, this number 8 was actually pretty intelligent throughout the game. So one of the things that Justin can do to make things increase his chances of getting a puck, increase his chances of scoring, is rather than going on the far side, right? This, we all know I love the magic spot. So all this open area, and you're technically gonna have the same quality of shot, right? Justin's on this edge of the circle. What's the difference, right? Just on the opposite side. We don't need to go complete cross crease, right? And at that period of time, that pass is shorter, bing bong, right? So let's say he was right here. Pretty dangerous chance. Versus and on top of that, it's less people to get across, right? So we got 1, 2, 3 defenders. Just let's call it 2. So the chances just get increased and it's less predictable. So something to think about. And you know, theoretically Alicia could have done the same thing. There's no reason for her to be on the opposite side. You know, remember, cut that ice in half. It's just gonna make things easier. So we get a rush. Justin's trying to look for the pass. Didn't quite work out. So you try to clear it. Ernest tries to keep it in. Doesn't work out so well. Kev tries to get it and tries to dump it in. Didn't work out so well. So we got Ernest hustling back for 29. Okay, no problem. So one player is coming back. So Spaghetti-O. Spaghetti-O. Feels like Lonely Island back there. Yeah, I guess one of the things for Ernest is he's getting back perfectly fine. And yeah, I guess one of the things is over skating, right? You got to be careful of that. At some point, once you get near the crease, you're gonna need to stop. And the way that you're skating, right, is you're not positioning yourself to be able to react to any shots or clearing rebounds in this manner, right? So he's kind of reacting late based on how he's skating, right? So he was kind of in a pattern to skate wide, which causes this late reaction. Now let's ignore the fact that nobody's skating, but that's definitely kind of like one of the causes where you weren't able to put an adequate or you're kind of reacting a little bit late to that rebound. So I mean, not your fault, but that's definitely I think would help you a little bit there. Not necessarily this goal might still go in with the minimal effort from everyone else, but 1-0 down 1-0 now here. Let's just focus in on Alex one more time, barreling down. Let's see what he does. Let's nitpick it. Let's nitpick it again. So he's just barreling down, like I said. No focus on where's that puck ever going to come to him, right? This is the lane. And obviously it's going to be evolving constantly. But, you know, this is pretty clear. This is where that lane is. On top of that, what does Alex do? He wants to put himself in a negative body position behind the player. Why not just go in front? Right? Here's that lane. Here's that lane. Why are you not standing here? Why aren't you standing in front of this player? Right? Why would you give him body position for free? I don't know. A lot of question marks. And where does that puck go to? It goes exactly to the lane that we expected. Ooh, how would you look at that? And on top of that, Alex has to skate around this player. So you could say this is all could be foreseen, self-inflicted. The amoeba hockey continues. Us being allergic to the boards continues. Get to the boards, Alex. Get wide, skate wide, skate wide, skate wide. What are you doing in the center ice? And you just continue, like... He just wants to, like, you're being in front of him. It's like, you know, like those walking pillars. Just blocking his way. An active pick. You wouldn't expect it from your own teammate usually, though. So that is interesting. Okay, so positioning wise, I mean, I like it. Cutting the ice in half. Like for all the forwards, pretty decent position. For the D, generally speaking, yeah, like I like being in the center. And in a case, so watch out here. It's a battle, right? It's pretty 50-50 battle. At that point, I think in general, the D would probably want to start gravitating closer towards the boards. You don't have to be at the boards, but it's generally good to start going there, because oftentimes on a tight battle like this, the D love to just hard rim in either direction, and so we could easily stop that just getting closer towards the boards. So in this case, boom, here comes a hard rim, and we're kind of there, but just a little bit late. Maybe the puck hops, but in general, if you just get a little bit closer, you'll probably get that extra step and be ready for it. So that's my only comment there. Okay, so pause right here. This is probably a good example of Ernest being too close to the left. So I said I like for the D to be in the middle, right? So let's cut this ice in half, visually speaking. Like, I could argue maybe a little bit like this, but generally speaking, it's kind of like, I prefer the, like, let's say the right D, it's going to be a bias towards the middle, but definitely not a bias to the left side, right? So definitely too far to the left. Now, what's the problem? Why does that create problems? When the winger starts covering you, it's basically double coverage, right? Look at how tight and compressed that becomes. So while Ray could start walking the blue line and coming, like that concept of getting the puck away from the boards, and then you can look for shots, is true. With your D partner being too close to you, you know, it creates problems. Like this box is pretty tight. So that's kind of where, if the D is back out here, you know, you still have that D to D, like with that width to work with, and then you're still gonna have shots. So something to think about. Now, yeah, that's unfortunate. It didn't really work out, but yeah, I think that's all I can say here. Actually, you know what? Let's rewind. So let's say Ernest wasn't there. Let's say he's back here, so Ray has room to work with. Then in this situation, it would be a good opportunity for Ray to walk the blue and then look for a shot. So this sequence was actually quite impressive, and you'll see shortly. So before we show the cool stuff, defensively, I guess questionable on the retreat here, and Ray kinda goes for a pinch. Not completely wrong. This player does have the beat on Ernest, so it could be gotten sketchy for sure, but you know, Ray kills the play, so you know, no harm, no foul here. What's cool is this part now. Boom, gets into the zone, hard stop with the deke, passes it tape to Justin. That's quite impressive. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. Ray, we rarely see this flash of brilliance from you. I think we need to see it more often. Alright, so puck's back in our zone. What is this? What is this? What is this? This is the amoeba breakout. I think it's highly effective, judging by, you know, you're absolutely surrounded. There is no width. There's like no room to work with. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Okay, so we get a pretty good long shift in their zone here, but not really any good big scoring opportunities, and let's kind of break it down. So we get the puck around. Immediately, we would probably want to see Alex jumping up to get a shot, or at least get front body position to get a good chance. Yeah, I don't know, man. Alex, get in front. Get in front. What are you backing up and going behind them for? You're just giving them free body positioning. Okay, and then here, puck's in the corner. Why is nobody in this spot? It's like a free shot. Nobody's covering you in that area usually. Alright, keep it a bad pass, but okay. Kept in zone. Again, right here. Favorite spot. Why is nobody there? And let's kind of focus in on Alex again. Get in front. Get in front. So this is all good. Keeps it in the zone. Go for a shot. And I'm pretty sure Mike actually tips it here. So I think it kind of changes directions out wide a little bit. But he also raised the puck slightly. So we just missed it wide a little bit, but fine. It's hard to read for the goalie. Boom, again. Nobody likes being here. Not sure why, but I think this pass right here, opening up, boom, that's a pretty good spot. Like, just so happened that he fanned on it. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Boom, big chances. Couldn't quite get the job done. Still keeping the zone. Alright. Let's see how this goes right here. Oh, unfortunate. Gets the stripped. But, you know, in my opinion, probably a bit too wide for Mike. In that situation. The only reason why I say that is just because, like, before, there was a pretty open lane there, but now they kind of got it covered. yeah, those are my thoughts. Not a lot of big, high quality chances, but we had good possession. Some more questionable. So going in on the attack, clear odd man rush. So I guess quite aggressive on Ray's part to go for this, and seeing how we have gotten so many deep. Ayaya. And Cliff makes another big save. Crazy, man, crazy. This is an interesting clip. So Ernest gets beat, and now it's a 2-on-1. But look at Justin. He does a good job identifying that no one's covering him. But has anyone ever seen Justin skate that fast before? Oh my god, we gotta... Hold on. Holy shit, he's zooming. He's even got only one hand on his stick, powering through the arm pump. Oh my goodness. I've never seen you skate that fast before, Justin. We're gonna need you flying down the wing more often, now that I know that you can skate like that. We're gonna have to hammer you more for not skating fast enough. So we got a reset. I don't like our positioning and our movement, and I'll show you why. I'd rather, you know, Justin, you come all the way back and then just a baby pass and you can turn and get it. So first subject is too high. I understand you're trying to get spacing. But like I've said before, with this high, it's just super easy to defend. Like, Kathy's a little bit better. But even then, you know, yeah, I mean, in this case, like, because it's on that side, it kind of makes sense to gap up. Now, the other thing is this gravitation towards, so we're losing width, right? We're turning into the amoeba, some more Timbits hockey, right? We're compressing into a single entity, which I don't like. I understand if we're trying to find like the open lanes, but in this case, you know, when you compress to an amoeba, it's very easy to surround you. Now the other aspect is, if you're skating this way, when you pass the puck, the puck will always move faster than someone will skate, right? So the moment we reverse directions, and in this case, boom, is reverse directions, we have now seeing ourselves, we got amoeba hockey, and nobody is on the wide wing to receive the puck, right? Ray's here. If Justin, you're over there off camera on the boards, easy chip up, right? Easy chip up. Instead, you're in the center of the ice, and therefore we can't, it's not as clean. In this case, it works out. Ray's able to power through, but you know, we kind of lose that advantage of width of ice, right? You skating towards the middle, let's say that moves over here. Now we have nobody. So, yeah, you know, common theme from last game. Common theme again. Take a look at Alex. What do you think I'm going to say? He is too blank. Why? Because it's easy to defend. We'll see the example. Oh my god, how easy is that? He's in front of your face, ready to poke check. How predictable. Common theme again. How awkward is this? How awkward is this? Yeah, you know, it worked out, but it's just awkward. Oh, we'll see. Mike's goal, face-off win, dekes through 13, powers through 57, comes in, puts the brakes and dekes out the goalie on the back end. Jeez, that's a pretty nasty goal. So right after that, we have the sequence for our third goal. So again, I mean, the breakout's really awkward, but it, I guess it works. Draw pass, yeah, that's fine. Had a chance there. So Kathy does a good job keeping it in there. Good play. Dave almost gets it, just hits the post and out. Super close. It was like post and back out the other side. So that could have been a goal right there. See, I like, this is, earlier I said there's that shift where we kept it in the zone a lot, but not a lot of good quality chances. But this is like a way more offensively forward positioning, right? Easy passes to get to, and lots of like in prime scoring opportunities by two players, right? And even Alex can opt to skate it around, pass it, lots of things that he can do himself, or even drive it to the net, right? So there's a lot more offensive threat than the earlier shift in the second period. Pass, boom. And this really starts with positioning, right? With Kathy being in this kind of default, the magic spot, right? Rather than being on the far side, we'll often see players on the far side. It just, it's not the same. It won't be put in a really good position. Like, imagine being all the way out here. You're just not going to have that same kind of opportunity to come in and skate in. Like, if there's too much distance to cover, versus you're literally basically just at the slot. So that's my kind of thoughts there. And then that's our third goal. So very nice, very nice. Typically speaking, when we're up 2 goals, we want to be a little bit more conservative. Ernest tries to go for the pinch, it's fine. He just went into his path. Get a good handle on it, but Ray's definitely going to be more conservative here and not paying attention to that. Yikes, that could be a breakaway. But it looks like it works out okay. So we'll just need to roast Alex a little bit here. Wide open net. He misses it. All good though. And then Kathy doing a little bit of tap dancing there. All good. But the main thing I wanted to see, or clip rather, is the good things that we're seeing. We're seeing our forwards are skating back. Dave and Kathy. Rather than historically we've had forwards just park their butts at the blue line. And really this just means it's easier to pass to. And boom, we're back the other way. So, that's the highlight. And also, with the pivot, now you have room to operate with, right? You're not hamstringed that you have to go over the blue line. You can go left, you can go right. Lots of options you're going to work with. And what the hell is Alex doing in center ice again? Get to the boards. I don't know why I stopped recording that, because you know how I said get to the boards, and why is he at center ice? Well, that really explains it right there. We would have rather sent it all the way across the boards so that Alex can skate it into the zone uncontested, but because Alex is in front of Dave, they're kind of defending Dave, so therefore the defender is right there. Yeah. So this is like the last minute 30. We get hemmed in our zone, and I'm going to try to point out as many factors as I can about why we got hemmed in. Boom, immediately we have the puck possession, right? We need to see our wingers get the fuck to the boards. We don't. So we let them have the puck. Same situation, right? We are gravitating to the middle, and therefore we can't get the puck out, right? Pretty straightforward. Pretty easy chip, should have been, but I've kept it in. So they're keeping it in, that's fine. Why are we like, okay, just pause. Why? And then obviously, like, Dave's a bit late to number 8. Okay, so fine, Kathy's covering for him, but this also leaves this person open. So when we clear it, nobody's there. So they bring it back down low. Okay. That's better. That's a lot better. Ten more seconds still. Yeah, that's better. End of the game. So wingers are allergic to the boards, another common theme. Therefore we are like, we can't hard rim then, right? So we lose that ability to be able to exit the zone.